Market conditions remaining mildly bearish in this overall bull market, continuing to see some volatility here towards the upper end of this range. We're seeing majority bullish on the one-day chart for SPX, and still seeing a little bit of weakness here, majority bearish on the 1 hour time frame, but that is strengthening here, bouncing off of this demand block right here, and we've got some overhead resistance area around that 6,000 range on SPY. If we look at futures this morning, they're up around 1%. That has also pulled that trend even higher. You can see on that close out of SPX sitting right down here at the low. Futures now pushing up into that level, moving trends higher. We'll see if that continues to strengthen as markets open, and if we can continue to see some overall strength pushing through or retesting that upper range of 6,000 on the Dow, upper end of 6,100 on, on S&P 500 here as well. Overall breadth on S&P 500 continuing to be quite bearish. We've got 22.66, so still 80% of stocks trading below their 50-day moving average. We are seeing that trend expansion pretty wide right here, and finding some bouncing at this 20 level that can go all the way down to 10 in a really nasty sell-off, and so we can see that push all the way down to these levels. But once we start to get this really wide fanning of the trend, then we typically will see some type of consolidation, particularly down at these demand zones where there's nobody left to sell unless new information or new news starts to come into the market as it digests that information. We are seeing VIX holding right here, majority bearish on the 1 hour time frame. Really tight consolidation squeezing right here in that daily, also doing the same thing, this tight consolidation squeeze, which is what it does. VIX just moves from volatile to non-volatile. It's measuring the volatility, and so you get these real big moves and then squeezes. So right now we're just kind of in this wait and see mode here on VIX to see if we're at the upper end of the trend. We know there's a little bit of weakness in that overall trend, and so now we're watching to see, are we going to find some support and bounce higher, or are we going to continue to show some weakness breaking down that 58.42 236 level on SPY. Let's take a quick look at bonds here. We're seeing short end of the yield curve SHY continue to have some weakness in this overall downtrend. We want to see, in order for rates to come down, bonds have got to go higher. So as bonds have been moving lower on that short end of that yield curve, that 1 to 3 year time frame, interest rates have still been climbing. So that's one of the issues that we're still dealing with is inflation, interest rates, and we've had an inverted yield curve, and that has been within the last 12 to 18 months. Typically, we see that spill over into the economy. By then, we'll keep an eye on that this next month or so and see if we start to see any kind of data there. The long end of the yield curve, TLT, we're seeing that also with significant bearishness here, majority bearish 14 on the daily and on the 1 hour time frame. So no real hint of any kind of support or bounce on the long end of the yield curve, TLT, at least currently on this current price pattern. Let's jump over and take a look at 10-year Treasury, 4.59 as of now, majority bullish. So rates still looking strong here at these in this current price pattern. Dow Jones Industrial Average, the symbol DIA, neutral trend 7 and 7. Majority bearish at 10, attempting a little bit of support here. A little bit deeper retracement has dropped through that 236 and finding support there at the 382 counter trend level of that current trend, but weaker than S&P and NASDAQ. NASDAQ holding up here relatively well, testing this retracement location. This is a key area for the support. It's responding the way that it should, and that is some buying activity coming in. The question is going to be, are we too extended in this overall trend to push things even higher, or are we going to consolidate and ultimately move back down? That's kind of the price pattern currently on triple Qs, and the Russell 2000 also showing some weakness here. A neutral trend 7 and 7 on the daily and on the 1 hour time frame here as well. USO continues to show some strength as that 1 hour time frame is really expanded out of that consolidation. And we're seeing the daily time frame also give some additional confirmation to USO. Could see some resistance right here around this $78 level currently. GLD also continuing to hold its range right here, has yet to really break one way or the other, consolidating, getting that tight compression here. Majority bullish on 1 hour for the gold chart, and SLV, similar price pattern on as gold as well. A couple stock ideas to consider today. Seeing a nice move back in the urban mobility, the air taxi stocks. We're seeing a move here in JOBY, big confirmation bar here, and increased volume back in that momentum zone. That is certainly one of interest today. And also ADPT is the symbol here in the biotech space. Similar price pattern here. Good solid confirmation bar, even closing, breaking out above this level here. Increased volume back in the momentum zone, and that is another one to look at. We're also seeing NVIDIA pop back into that price pattern here as well, and moving back up. Could see some support here and some continuation on NVIDIA and some of these other names that could drive markets higher as well if we get a bid back into technology. That's going to do it for today's update. Everyone have a fantastic day today.